Hi guys, and welcome back again to another cosplay video. I am so excited. So if you guys watched the first cosplay video, we did Jigglypuff, and I have to say I took so much longer to make that dress than I thought I was gonna take. So for our next cosplay, we are going to do a Pokemon trainer. So I know there's a ton of Pokemon trainers out there you're thinking of. So I'm going to do Serena. And I know there's a lot of versions of Serena, but I'm going to do the one that I think of when I think of Serena. And that's the Serena with the red hat, the pink dress with the collar, the red kind of vest, not really vest, but like an open, like a tank top vest kind of cardigan thing, thigh-high black stockings, brown boots, the blue necktie, that's Serena. And I'll link a picture here, or add a picture so you can see which Serena I'm talking about. So for this one, I'm not going to make everything from scratch like I basically did for Jigglypuff. I'm going to show you guys how you can buy clothing items from stores and just kind of go with them or alter them just a little bit to make them into what you want for your cosplay. So we'll go piece by piece for this cosplay. So for the first piece for this cosplay, we're gonna do the dress. So I found a dress from, again, Forever 21. It's like my go-to store to find cheap clothing items I can use for cosplay, either just use or to alter a little bit. So I found the dress that's pink, has a collar. So I mean, right off the bat, I just stuck it in my lip gloss. Has a collar, it's pink, right? It's great, perfect for the cosplay of Serena, right? So the only problem is it's a long sleeve dress. So the biggest alteration I'm gonna do is I'm gonna seam rip the sleeves here. So I'm just gonna take a seam ripper and seam rip the sleeves off, and then fold the fabric under and sew a new seam there. And for you guys who don't sew, I've known people who take, they seam rip something, and instead of folding the fabric under and sewing it back, they will glue it because they don't sew. It's another option. Just get some fabric glue or something and do that, and then maybe add some like little tacks of thread to make sure it holds. So it's another option. But as you can see, guys, I actually already went ahead and seam ripped the other arm. So this is how it looks. I'm gonna fold it under. I might cut a little extra off here to make it a little more of a tank top dress. But here it is. This is the dress. I'm gonna use, it is buttoned. And if you guys have seen this Serena, this version of Serena, it's the Serena I know and love the most, really. I'm probably gonna leave the few buttons, lower buttons, open, and then wear a black tank top underneath, because she does have, it's almost like a crossover dress that she wears that kind of flows open in the middle to reveal like a black tank top. So I'm just gonna leave those buttons open and have a black tank top underneath. So yeah, so we'll start with the dress. I will seam rip the sleeve, sew it, and I will show you guys how it turns out. I won't videotape that part because that's frankly a little boring. So If you guys want me to videotape that from now on, just let me know. If you guys really want to see that step, I don't want to leave it out, so let me know. I don't mind leaving it in. Okay? So let's get started. Finish the dress. Arms are sewn, so now it's a tank top dress. And as you can see, I took the buttons off the front here, and it's gonna kind of gap open here. I have a black tank top to go underneath. So this part is done, and we will move on to the next part, which will be the red vest. So here we go. Okay guys, last you all saw, we were finishing up sewing some pieces on Selena's, sorry guys, I just watched Underworld, Serena's dress, for the pink dress with the collar. And now we're working on her red vest. So I found some red material, and I'm just gonna make it. It's very simple. This was super cheap material that I found. Honestly, you can look up, you know, long red vest on Amazon and find one for like $19. You don't have to make one at all. And I know some people will make these types of vests by taking a huge square of stretchy fabric and like putting a hole, like just like cutting a hole for like each arm and putting it over. So you can do simple stuff like that if you find a really cheap stretchy fabric. This is not stretchy at all. Okay, so I have to be careful with sewing it and making sure that you know, the armholes are big enough and everything. So what I did is I have this vest, if you can tell. Armholes are not as big as I wanted, but I basically used this to draw out a pattern that I wanted, but just marking that I wanted the armholes bigger and marking that I wanted the back basically cut out. So I have my pieces of fabric all cut out from that. I have two for the front and then kind of like a panel piece for the back. So we're gonna sew those all together real quick. I think the panel piece in the back is gonna be too big. I kind of want it slouchy in the back, how some of the photos show it for her and how it is in, you know, the show. But again, there's some variations, there's some different, you know, you can obviously search her online and on Pinterest and you get variations for her versus, you know, the show versus, you know, games versus fan art. So there's so many variations out there. You obviously get a ton of variations for any anime character. But I just wanted it slouchy. I'm gonna do the one where she has like a little panel in the back with two gold buttons. Brain to mouth function is not working today, guys. Not at all. So apologize for that. So let's just get to sewing.
Here I am making that small panel that Serena has in the back of her red vest. So I'm just taking 2 pieces of the same red cotton fabric and adding a piece of interface in between them just to make it a little more stiff. And then I'm adding 2 metal buttons I have, and I'm going to paint them gold just because I didn't have any gold buttons lying around. Didn't want to have to go out and get them. So I'm going to sew these pieces together, and voila! There you have it, all sewn and ready for the buttons now that are now gold. And this is the final red vest. I added pockets as well to make it true to Serena's version of her red vest. Didn't really do much to it after this here was recorded. I really liked how it turned out. It was very flowy and very comfortable to wear.
Alright, so next is the hat. So got this hat offline, off Amazon, and I want to get it a lighter shade of red, a brighter shade of red really, to match the red vest. So I started painting the top here, so this is the shade that it came as here, this kind of darker red. And I started painting the top here, if you can tell. I'm going to go over it a few more times to get it brighter, but again, like always, watered down acrylic paint, cheap and simple way. It's still flexible, and really it's not going to change it much. It's just going to change the shading of it, and it's just going to make the fabric a little bit stiffer than what it was, and that's all. So let's go. And here is the final version for Serena's hat. Very excited how it turned out. So originally this rim of the hat did not have kind of this little uplift, and I wanted to have that since Serena has that for her hat. So all I did was, when I painted it with the watered down red acrylic paint, I just took a hair clip and clipped it so that it dried with that fold on the end. So all good now. I'm very happy how it turned out, and I'm really excited to see how it looks with the wig. So let's go get started on the wig. Alright guys, so the last piece for Serena's cosplay is going to be the wig. So like most of my wigs, I got this one cheap from Amazon. As you can see, I don't have bangs on this yet, so I'm going to do a little bit of bangs. Basically just bring some to the front and cut down with some scissors, and then, you know, trim up based off my face and where I want them at. And then it's a little longer than her hair on the anime, so I'm probably going to trim it just a little bit at the ends, give it some layers so it kind of sticks out a little bit like hers. And as well, I'm probably going to wet this down a little bit with some water and get kind of the uniformed waves out. Her hair doesn't seem to have uniform waves to it, so I'm just going to kind of keep it wavy, but not have these uniform waves going through here. And I might tone it down a little bit darker, just slightly. Again, watered down acrylic. That also kind of brings this really, really fake shine that you see with fake hair wigs. That's not very realistic for hair. It makes it look a little more realistic when there's not this huge shine to the wig. So that's what I'm planning to do. I'll show you guys, explain what I'm doing. I think that's all that I'm mostly gonna do. The only other thing I was considering was cutting some extra and adding it here with some glue to add a little more to the front, because the way they made this wig, you can see the front of it. There's not much hair up here, so I don't like that. So if I take the red hat off, I would like it to look nice underneath. But yeah, just be just be careful, guys, if you guys are styling. Like I said, with I'm gonna wet this and then take like a flat iron very quickly through it to try to get the uniform waves out. Be careful if you're doing a fake wig and you're using any kind of heat source. You can buy heat resistant wigs. They're more expensive. I try to budget cosplays, so I usually get cheap wigs. If you try to use a flat iron and just go slowly down through here, you're gonna melt the fibers in a fake wig, and it's just not gonna look good at all. You're gonna pretty much destroy the wig. So just be careful with that. If you want to be able to style your wig, get a heat resistant wig. Just a little side note. All right, so let's go.
So here I'm just referencing some pictures of Serena's hair to make sure that I cut it all the right way. And I'm just going to give her some bangs and give the overall wig some layers before I go into trying to alter the color at all. So that's where I'm starting for the wig here. And if you guys have any questions about how I style my wigs, please feel free to comment below or send us a message, and I will definitely reach out and answer those questions. I would love to hear from you guys.
Alright, so after all of the layering, cutting of the bangs, which I tried it on so the bangs actually fall where I want them to, and then some watered down acrylic so it's not stiff, it's actually very flexible still. The Jigglypuff wig, I put a lot of acrylic paint in it. One, to get the color so much lighter, and two, I wanted it to basically stabilize the curls in the wig. This one, not so much. I just wanted the color. It's much easier to go from lighter to darker hair for wigs, just like it is your regular hair. And I also kind of took some of the super wavy uniformed waves out just by wetting the wig and then running my straight iron through it really quick and then kind of holding it down to loosen it. The acrylic paint also helped to kind of take some of that wave out. So this is the final wig. So I'm happy with it. Fixed the part a little bit. I didn't have a very good part up in the front. So I added some more hair using hot glue, and then that front part is just hot glue and then acrylic paint over it to match the rest of the part. You can see, if you look up close, you can really see the glue, but from far away, and then once, you know, I have the wig glued to my head, it's gonna look fine. So, there we have it. There's our wig for Serena. Alright guys, so I know I said the last thing for the Serena cosplay was the wig, but we can't forget about the ribbon tie. So I'm going to show you guys what I did for that real quick. So I already have mine done over here. It's really, really simple. Literally, you just get ribbon, simple ribbon with some wiring in it. And you take it and you measure out pretty much what you want one side to be. Keep it from unraveling. I added some hot glue to the end. And then you just take it, you fold it over, and you tie it basically in a regular knot. Alright, regular knot. And then you just loop the end back through. Alright. And then this just creates this little clear spot right here, so like I have in the one already done. And I just added some hot glue to the back. You just measure around how big you want it for around your neck to under your collar, and then basically this end you can measure out the length you need it to match up, and this end will just slip through here. And there's a little kind of pocket that you can slip it through. So I can show you guys on mine here. So once this goes around my neck, this side just slips through here. Just like that. Alright, so really simple. So now that we have the blue tie all done, we can go and get ready and put the full Serena cosplay together, alright? So let's go.
Thank you so much everyone for watching and sharing in this cosplay with me. This was my first Pokemon Trainer cosplay, and I really enjoyed cosplaying as Serena from Pokemon XY. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when we post our next videos. And please comment and ask questions. I would love to hear from you all and just know what you guys are thinking. And please let me know what you guys think I should cosplay next. I would love to hear your suggestions, ideas, anything. That would be amazing. So please reach out. So thanks again, and I hope you all have an amazing day, and like always, stay Pokemon perfect. Love you guys.